Yeah, hi. Good morning. And in this video, we are going to discuss. Today's class we are going to discuss about the next concept. So last class we have discussed objects and arrays. So this is finished. So now today we are going to discuss functions. So how to write a functions with TypeScript. Almost same like a JavaScript, but syntactical difference and types you have to apply. So I'll just create a new directory. That's a 06 underscore ts underscore functions. Okay, so here I create a new ts config file, and let me create new TypeScript. Let's say app.ts. Okay, fine. And here, okay, so we start with the basic functions. The very first function what we discussed today is normal function let greet is equal to one function. So I have taken a function expression, and this function expression it takes a name as a parameter, but this name of type string. Okay, and here I just write console.log of, I write backtick, let's say hello, uh, the name, and let's say good morning. Hello name and good morning. um, Fine. So see, this function it doesn't have any written type. So if it doesn't have any written type, you must have to mention as a void. Suppose it is having any written type like written string or something, it must be mentioned as a string. So like that. So I don't have any data type as of now. It's a void. So don't to mention this one. Okay, this one function is a problem. Okay, and let me call this greet. Let's say my name. Okay, let me run this. Good terminal. Good cd space 06 tab functions. So tsc space add dot ts. So let me run node space app.js. Yeah, I got a message. This is one function. Let's make another function. Uh, a function which takes two parameters. What you do is, okay, let's say like this function with the return type. Okay, so this is a function without return type. Function without return type, and this is with the return type. So let's calculate is equal to one function. So here this will take a two numbers. It's a of type number and then b of type number. So ultimately it returns again a number. So return type is number. So we do here let the result is equal to, and result of type again number is equal to just a plus b. Done. And finally return result. Okay. So it takes both the numbers and perform addition and returns a result as a number. Suppose if you take this as string, you get the error because a number plus string will become a string, so it cannot be a number. If you change this to string, then you get the error here because you declared as a number here. If you say string, now it's happy. Okay, so I want everything is number. I'll just make it as everything number. Fine. So this is a function, and let's call this. So I say calculate of 10 comma 20. So what happened? But nothing will come because there is no console log. You have to catch the results. So I'll just say let um, output of type again number is equal to calculate. and then just do the console.log of outputs. Okay, so now you get the answer as 30. So no need to execute, but you get the answer as 30. And then let's make fine. Let's make one more function. So this function will take an object as a parameter. So function with an object as parameter. So object as parameter means you have to pass an object. You have to pass an object means you have to declare an object type. Okay, let's make an object like I just declare with an interface student. So this person is having a name. Name is string, age number, and then quotes string. So you have interface student which having three properties, and then we can make a function. So let's print object is equal to one function. So this function will take an object of what type? Student type, and which returns a normal string. Okay, so I have to convert this object to string and return. Okay, if no return, this it should be void. So I'll do like this. Let object string is equal to I get the object dot. You can do like this. Let's say JSON dot stringify of object. So object will be converted to string. You can do always to string function also, and return. And one second before this, you must have to declare this as string only, and then finally return the object string. Read you are at. So now it's perfect. Okay, so we have an object interface, and we made a function with object student type. And let me create object and call it. So let a student one of type capital student is equal to one object. But in this you got error because you must have to implement the same as this. Sorry. So you have to implement the same properties as this one. So how you do is, let me grab same data. Yeah, name Rajan, and age 30, and codes engineering. Okay, so I have a student object, and this object I have to pass to this function. So how to do? Print object of student one. Fine. But this is giving you the results. So let me catch the results. I just say output is equal to something. But you got an error. Why you got error? Because output. Where is output? See, I have declared output as a number. Now what I'm doing? Output I'm assigning as a string because this returns a string. So you string cannot be assigned to the output because output was declared as a number. So you should be very careful. But this thing will happen in JavaScript, but not in TypeScript because output declared as a number here. But here our result is string. So let's take some other. Let results of type string. Okay. So let me copy. Let me do the console.log results. You get the string representation of this object. So let me run that. Let me compile, and then I'll execute. See, I got a string representation of an object. Fine. And next, I'll make a function with an array as a parameter. So what I do is function with an array as parameter. So let's take an array, or let's take a directly function. So let's print array is equal to one function. So what this function is going to do is it will take an array of type, not custom type. Let's make a string array, and returns again normal string. It'll take a string array and convert to like a string. Fine. So what I do inside is I just loop the array and I just print the index and values. So I'll take let's results of type string is equal to just empty string. I'll take for let's loop it. Let I of type number is equal to 0, I less than array dot length and I plus plus. So inside you have to just catch the index and its value up into the result. I just say result plus equal to backtick the index. I get index is I, and then it's normal indication. It's not arrow or something. Is a string. So dollar array of I. Okay, fine. And then you can make a slash in for the next line for better visibility, and then return the results, because result is declared as string and return type is string only, so no issue. Next, so you have to create a array and pass it. So let's colors of string array is equal to one array, and which will take the white and the black and purple and the blue. Okay, so I have an array and I have to pass it to this function. So how to pass? So let's say print array of colors. So you get the result as a string. So let me catch it. Already I have taken a result as a string, so I'll use it. So just say result is equal to print array and just do the console dot log of result. Okay, you get the result as string, index and array. So let's say go to terminal, compile and execute. Just you get the answer like a index and value like that. Okay, fine. So this is a function with an array as a parameter. What else? Function object as a parameter, normal function with return type, function with return type. Okay, fine. Let's make okay enough because we have already learned the functions concept. It's just to indicate that how to declare a parameters and how to declare the return type. So that's the only concern over here. Fine. And then we'll start with the a few year 6 features how to do with TypeScript. So let me create a new directory for year 6 features. Um, 0 7 underscore ts underscore year 6 features. Okay, so I create a new config file and then I'll create a new TypeScript app.ts. Okay, we'll just start with some of the ES6 features. So I'll show you some of the ES6 features now, and then we'll discuss the what ES6 features we are going to discuss is. Yeah, so we are going to discuss is first one is template strings, and second one optional parameter, and third one optional parameters, and what else? Let's and constant, and so you have a for of loop and arrow functions and destructuring and mm, spread operator, destructuring, spread operator, That's it now. One second.
Sir, also async await is also 6, right?
No, no, it is 7.
Function six?
It is 7.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Yeah. No, 6 I have. 1 minute. Okay, that's it. Yeah, let's do these things now. I'll go back here. I'll just make a paste. Yeah. So first we'll talk about a template strings, normal backtick operator. Just take backtick operator. This is a replacement for string concatenation. So I'll just make a simple example. So template strings. So here I'll just take let employee name, basic one only. Let's say employee name of type string is equal to John, and let employee age of type number is equal to some 40. Now I want to display both us together. So normally string concatenation, how we do is console.log you use a quotes like a employee name colon. So you're gonna write a plus employee name, so plus uh, employee age, and then plus employee age. This is how you write it. Or let's take just name and age. Okay, this is how you write in normal concatenation. So for template string will be console.log. We're gonna write a backtick. It's a name colon. Just say dollar employee name and then age. Let's make gaps. Age. You can make a dollar employee age. Okay, this is from this is of ES5 and this is from ES6. Okay, so let me execute. You get the same results. I'll go back to the console. Uh, cd space dot dot cd space 07 tab tsc space app dot ts. So node space app dot js. Yes, you get the same answer. That's a template string. And let's take an example of optional parameter. So optional parameter is like this. Let's take a function. What function? Let's something called print numbers. Yeah, print numbers is equal to sorry print numbers is equal to one function. So this will take two parameters. One is start number and one is end number. Okay, it returns a normal. Okay, nothing. It's just void. I don't want it anything. Yeah. So void. It will make console clock here only. So start number, end number. So what this will do is, what is the start number and end number you pass it. So based on that, it will perform a calculation inside. So I'll just take results of type normal string is equal to empty string. I'll just loop it. So for let I of type number um, is equal to start number. Oh, we are not declared type for this. It's of type number and also of type number. Okay. So I of type number is equal to start number, comma I less than or equal to end number. What happened? And then I plus plus. We have a problem. Cannot redeclare the block scope variable. Redeclare block scope. Hmm.
Sir, we already defined the start as a number, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Parameter can be declared, right?
Yeah, okay.
So one match cannot redeclare block scope variable I Do we have anywhere I know na? Mm, where I redeclare only one I, right? Um, the one thing. Okay, let's say for let I is equal to start. Is it happy? Oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll see. I less than or equal to end and I plus plus. Okay, so what you do is, acha, just take a result plus equal to backtick, and here I want to just print the, I mean just print I value and then done. Just do the console dot log of result. Okay. So I don't know, it's not accepting to declare it. So just leave it. Anyway, we have made a, I mean condition over here. So same will be assigned means automatically it will be number only. Fine. So this function, it takes a start number, end number, it perform some addition. I mean just append to the these things as results and display it here. So now I'll call it. I'll call print number, not number, numbers. Yeah, print numbers. I'll pass two things because start and end two things are there. I'll make start number 0, comma end number 10. So if I pass 0 and 10, you get the result is 0 to 10. Fine. But sometimes I don't pass 10. I pass only 0. I don't want to pass 10. So in TypeScript, what happened? It must be, you must, how many parameters as declared, the same amount of parameter you have to pass and same type of parameter you have to pass. So now here it is expecting a two parameters, but I'm passing only one parameter. I want to make the second parameter optional. You can even make like JavaScript, you can even make this as optional. How you do is you can make n is equal to 10, you take, yeah, this is becoming like an optional parameter. See, now I pass only 0, it happily accepted. Okay, so what happened if you don't pass anything, it will take the default value as 0, I mean 10, 10. If you pass something, you can pass 100, it will take 100 as a value. So let's take this. If you I mean I just show you, if you don't pass anything, it takes 10 as a value. So let me go here. So it will take 10 as a value, and if you pass 100 and see, it takes 100 as a value. Okay, so that's about optional parameters of year 6. And next, what we do is latent constant. So latent constant we know. So that means for non-constant variables, and constant is for constant variables. So I'll write like this. Mm, let name is equal to of type string is equal to John. Name cannot be declared. Cannot redeclare block scope. What is this block scope always? Acha, empty name. Maybe there's something keyword kind of or something. If I say employee name, still cannot redeclare block scope variable employee name. Oh, sorry. It's already there. Sorry. It's okay. Let's make person name. Yeah, person name. Okay, so person name is John, and we can change that. So let's say person name is equal to Wilson. You can change it. Okay, it works. But when I say person name is equal to some number, I'll take, it doesn't work because basic rule, it is of type string. You can assign any type of string data. You can change the value, but you must assign only string type of data. But when you talk about JavaScript, that time you can assign any type of data, like you can assign integer, number, anything, because there is no type specific here. But here we have a type we are mention the type, so you must have to pass the strings only. Fine. So this how it is. Let's make a simple console dot log of person name. It works like this. Then for constant, mostly the the fixed values like final values you can keep like a constant. Mostly the application name will be constant, and the port number, host name, and application version, uh, like any server addresses, so those things will be constant. And one rule for constant is mostly people you want to easily recognize the constant variable, you can write all variables will be uppercase. How you declare as uppercase is like, suppose you want to declare app name, it will be app name. If you have two words like this, generally for normal camel case thing, two words means first word lowercase and next word onwards first letter caps. This is the normal general variable. But for constant, you want to give everything uppercase. But here, if you have two words, how to divide them is with underscore. So constant app name is equal to some app ts app, like this. So in programming, by seeing this capital word itself, we understand yes, it's a constant. So generally, this make a just remember like, always constant will be in uppercase, and normal other variables which can changes using camel case. So you can make constant port number also will write like this 3000, and the constant host name will be given as 127.0.0.1, like that. But you have to mention the type also, string it is of type number, and it is of type string. Okay, this how you declare a constants in a real programming. Then that's about let and constants, and constant cannot be changed and let can be changed. And for off loop, actually for off loop we already discussed about, I think, arrays concept. Yeah, I show you one last time. Okay, so for off loop, we have actually two things, for in for off. So for in means you get the every time index, for off means you get every time the objects. So let's do that. So let's colors of string array. I'll just take one array of white, black, and blue, and silver. Okay, so I'll just loop it. So I just use the normal for loop, but small deviation is there. I just tell you with a normal for loop first. For normal for loop, how you do is, so normal for loop how you do is, so for let I of type number is equal to 0, I less than or equal to colors, sorry, I less than colors dot length, and then I plus plus. This way you can loop it, and I want to print it, so I can just take let output of type string is equal to empty string. Yeah, here I'll do output plus equal to backtick, just say dollar colors of I dot to uppercase, and just normally just do the console.log of output. So this way you can loop it. But what I'm saying is I is declared as a number. But same story I'll do with the for in loop. So let's see, for in loop. So in for in loop, I'll just attach the output to be empty because I just clear the output data. And for in loop module right is for let uh, index, right? So index in colors. Okay, so I made for let's index in colors. So now I want to make sure this index is coming as a number, because here I is a number, right? Same like that, I want to make index as a number. But when I make colon number, you get the error. See? So this the left hand side of a foreign statement cannot use type annotation. So from this particular number issue, there is a issue number here. So what is this? That's a rule inside a TypeScript. So you must not mention for foreign loop. Uh, don't mention the type. Okay, so you must have to give just like normal JavaScript only. You must not mention the type. That's an error from TypeScript. So 2404 is the number. Okay, so we don't need to mention. Then it's not allowed. Maybe in future version they'll change it to allow these things, but it is not there. And here normally what you do, you just copy this and paste in place of I index, and then console dot log of output. Yes, that's a for in loop, and let's make a for of loop. So for of loop. So for of loop, I'll just take the output as empty. For of loop. So for of loop also same story like this. For let, so it's a colors. So I'll just set each color every time. So let's say color of colors. Okay. So I'm just thinking like, yes, colors is of type what? Declared as a string array. So when you're looping every time you get a, make sure you get a string only. Already you declared a string array means everything string only. It won't allow any other type other than string. But I want to make again one more time to make sure it is string. But this is not allowed. See, it's some other number now 2483. The left hand side of for off also cannot use a type annotation. Okay, so you must not mention the type as actually for colors is declared as string array only. So you must not mention that. So output that's equal to backtick, let's say dollar color dot to uppercase space. So let's make console dot log of output. Okay, so we have seen three ways like normal for loop, for in, for out. So let me go to the terminal. I say tsc space app dot ts. Yes, let me run this node space app dot js. Yes, I got the same result for all the three. So that's a normal for in loop, for off loop, and arrow function. So let's make an arrow function. Um, the arrow functions also works in TypeScript. Arrow function, but arrow function. Okay, I just tell you a simple example, and then we'll go for more elaborate example. Arrow function very basic, like let's greet uh, uh, greet is equal to one function. Okay, so here it takes a name of type string and returns a string. Okay, like this. So now here let's message of type string is equal to, let's say backtick, let's say hello, and the person name and good morning. Yeah, like this, and return, it must return because I added a string. So return message. Okay. So I have a simple function, so which will take a name as a string and returns a string. So it performs some basic good morning logic. So now what I do is I'll just get results of type string is equal to again greet of my name, then, and then let's me do the console.log of result. Okay, so you get the result as simple hello, name, and good morning will come. Now here is the thing is how to convert this like a arrow function is normally you just remove this function keyword and let's make an arrow afterwards here. So this will become an arrow function. Fine, that's it. And yeah, that's about arrow function. And next, I just tell you some elaborate example which where we use mostly arrow functions is for loopings and filter functions, map functions of arrays. We'll use it. I show you. I think we have discussed that in objects and arrays class. Let me go to the arrays. Yeah, see here it is arrow function. Junior employees is equal to employees dot filter. See, this we made an arrow function, right? Employee and returns employee dot age. So this is the arrow function. Let me do the copy of this back to here and I'll paste it. Oh, don't declare output again. Output is empty. Okay, so this is arrow function. The shortest form is arrow like this. Fine, because we already discussed in the last class. This arrow function and destructuring concept. I mean, it just cut down the a bigger object to the smaller object. You want to take out a small object from the bigger complex objects. Destructuring and spread operator. So let me start with destructuring. Destructuring. So let's take a complex object. Um, Actually, we have discussed all this now in JavaScript. I'll do one thing. I'll just go to our JavaScript example. Um, D drive workspace online classes of JavaScript destructuring. Yes, let me open the JavaScript. Yeah, it was like this. Okay, let me just copy back to here and paste. Yeah, but I made only name and all will not work. Only that name is a problem. Student name you take. Okay, yeah, but before this, I had to make sure it is of maintain the same string. So I'll just do a interface for this interface students uh, like this. So I'm gonna make a same set. So declare it string. This is of type number, and this is of type string. This is of type string, and copy. This is string, and this is string. Okay. So now it is declared, and let's make the student of type students. Yes, it works. And yeah, this is destructuring concept. So when I make, I can just take only the few fields of student and store it, and we can just use them like this. Or a student dot address. Instead of saying student dot address dot street address dot city, you can just take it as a separate object, and they can just use them. This is destructuring. We already discussed in JavaScript. And one last concept is there, that is spread operator. I think this also we have discussed long back in JavaScript class. Okay, I'll just grab the spread operator also. I think here is like this. Yeah, in spread operator. Yeah, this is about spread operator. Let me copy everything. Yeah, I'll just back it. I'll paste it. So here you have to make sure it is TypeScript. So you can make it is of type number array, and it is of type number. And for of loop we can't make it as number because it throws error. And anywhere else, yeah, here it is of type number array, and this also, and this also. Okay, that's it. And this is of type string array. That's it. And it can also make your string array. Okay, that's it. Now we converted to the perfect type checking of using TypeScript. Okay, these are all the 6 features, and now switch back to the OOPS concepts. I mean, we have discussed the OOPS concepts of TypeScript. That's more important because mostly TypeScript is OOPS features you're gonna write. Okay, so let's discuss the OOPS concepts now. So I write a new directory 08 underscore ts underscore classes. Okay, the class concept. So I create one tsconfig.json, and I create one app.ts. Let's say app. Yep. So now I have a app.ts. Okay. So what I do here is let me declare, classes concept. So exactly what is a class? So class is actually a blueprint for an object, blueprint for an object. Generally how we declare object regularly and how to declare them in a class oriented way, I show you. Generally how we declare object is, you can declare normally, let student right is equal to one object, right? Inside you have a name, like Rajan, comma age, 40, sorry, student 20, and course, yeah, like engineering. So in a functional oriented way you can declare an object like this. So once you declare an object like this without having any structure, because generally in normal JavaScript also we can declare object like this, but it doesn't maintain any structure, and we can access the properties directly and we can change the properties also directly. So what is the oops concept says is, you must have to provide some security for this data. So there is a way of accessing the, there's a way of creating object, and there's a way of accessing the data. They're all completely different. So in a class oriented approach, how to generally create an object is using a class. A class is again a blueprint for an object, so which will decide the just structure of an object, where how many parameters will be involved and what are the functions, because you can't access them directly, you have to declare a function. Actually it's called as methods in class, and we can create them automatically using one special method called constructor. So I tell you this first class structure now. Let's say class, see here, let's say class students, and you can declare these things as a properties here. And how you declare them as a properties is, you can make some modifier, that's a private modifier, private name of type string, like this. So why, there's a lot of rules are there, I'll show you one by one slowly. What is this private is, whatever the name is there, you must not access that directly. Okay, because we call them as data, a data of this particular class. So the data cannot be accessed outside directly. So it must be uh, using some way, like setters and getters functions only you can access. So I tell you all, just tell you, just make a setup and then I tell you what is going on. So age, uh, type number, and private quotes of type string. Okay, so you have three, it's called properties. Say class properties, and you have something called constructor. Generally in Java it is have a same as the class name, but here we have a name called constructor. And what this constructor will do is, will initialize this data. So let's take name, comma age, comma quotes. Okay, so how to initialize is, we have just declared inside of constructor we can initialize. How to initialize is, we want to access this data over here is, we use a keyword called this dot name is equal to name. The name what you have passed it is assigned. Next this dot age equal to age, and this dot quotes is equal to quotes, like this. You can initialize and you want to access them, you have a public getters and setters. I show you what are those. You want to access the name, you have to write a public function, get name. Get name is equal to one. Sorry. It's not a function actually. The classes, see, function oriented, we can write a function, but here it is method. So how to declare a method is same like this one. See, function name, open close, right? But constructor never declare. A lot of rules are there. Never declare public. Only for these things. Let get name. Here, this will return a string. So just say return. How to access this name is, here this dot name. That like this you access, and you want to set any name. Let's say public set name, and here you can mention the name of type string, and return type is void. So just say this dot name is equal to name. What is the name you pass it, you'll assign it. So only through these functions can be accessed data. This is how you can provide data binding, and it's called data binding. So you can bind data together inside a class, and you can access only through getters and setters. Okay, let's make it for the age and course as well. It leads to many lines of code, but this is the perfect structure in a object oriented way. So course and age, I'll just copy this as it is. I'll paste it. Let's make this is age. Age is of type number. This is age. Oh, sorry, I changed it. Let me copy this. So name age. Oh, this is I have to keep it here. This is age, and this is age number. Okay. Next, so let me copy this again. We'll paste it. So this is get a quotes. It is of type string. So this dot quotes and set quotes.
Sir,
Uh,
one quick question.
uh,
What is the name of this class? Can you scroll a little bit up? Just I have one question here. The
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
class we have not specified any like public or anything. By default, it is private, right? The class name.
Class name.
No,
This one.
no, yeah, this is the student is our class name, right? So
Yeah.
we have not specified any public, private, or whatever. So what will be the default?
Default is
Uh,
public.
Default is public.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go to official documentation, I show you default is public actually.
But public is not good, right? Class because
Huh?
oh yeah, because we can create the object of that class. If it is private, then we can't do it, right?
Yeah. But by default, is it is public? I show you.
I think there is some on the top class. Yeah.
Yeah. Public by default,
Okay. Yeah. Okay, got it. Thank you.
and it is quotes, and it returns course is string only, na? Oh, sorry. To set, acha, set is void. Yeah. So see, we made properties. We made a constructor. We made getters and setters, and then let me make one more function to access everything. Let's say public get student of one function. So this get student, this returns a normal string. So it just say return a backtick. Let's say the student name. So let's say this dot get name. You access the name, and then comma. Okay, let's make like this. Let's make a name will be like this, and age will be this dot get age, and course will be dollar this dot course. Sorry, get course like this. Fine. So I made a blueprint for this objects, and then I'll tell you how to create and access, and then I'll tell you the flow. So create a student object. How to create is, so let's student is already there. Let's make a student to one. is equal to new is a keyword for class. So class base, how to create objectives with the new keyword student, and this student is having a constructor with name, age, and course. So you must have to pass these details as a through the constructor. It means you can pass name. First is accepting what? Name, age, and course. You can pass name as John, and age 20, and course something called some course like engineering. Okay. So now here I have just created an object, and how to access the data is I have a function get student function to access everything about the students. So I say student one dot get student. Okay, so this will access all the functions of it inside. Uh, I will get return statement. I have to catch it. So I'll do one thing. Console.log will do now. Why to store one more variable? Console.log student one dot gets student. Okay, let me execute this and then I'll tell the flow. Here space dot dot cd space 08 tab. Yeah, here what you do is tsc space app dot ts. Okay, and then node space app dot js. Yes, you get name John, age 20, and course is engineering. That's the answer. So here is the concept. What happening here is, see, a class generally in the function oriented programming there is no properly defined structure. It's just like normal casually we write in objects and we can access, we can change. You must not do such type of things to the object. I mean, it's your actual data of your application. So they provide a lot of rules how to access, how to create, and everything. So first of all you have to create a blueprint what are all the properties can be there in your object. I mean your object is going to create. Once it is created you cannot add any property dynamically, but here in the process we can create any new property also. We can add a new property called college. We can remove the existing property, so we can change the structure of an object using javascript, right? But this lead to a lot of problem because finally this object will have what type of data, how many parameters, we don't know. Okay, but in a class oriented what it is once a structure of uh, any class, any object is finalized, so we never change the structure. And to access also it's not possible directly. So there are a lot of rules to provide a security for your data. See, the thing is, first you have to design a blueprint, like a design part of it. So it's a blueprint class. In that, what are all the properties are there, just like not values, we just have to declare them. And what type of data you're going to assign, just declare them. And while declaring also we have private, public, and protected. Private means which you can access only instead of this class, and protected means this data can be accessed in the derived class. We have some super class and subclass will be there, like parent class structure, because one structure is, this is like one structure now. So this structure may derive from the parent structure. So if any variable declared is protected in the parent structure, so that will also accessible here, like inheritance process. We just talk about that. And then public means that accessibility also there. Public means you can access that directly from outside, but that's mostly not allowed because public means you won't have a security for your properties. So mostly it is private. So once you declare the variables, there is one special method. I tell you one more thing. Here we call it as function, here we call it as method. Constructor also is one special method which is responsible to initialize uh, data for your property. See, we just declare the properties here, and here you can just assign some data to them using a like this. You can pass a name, age, and code. So those data I'll catch it and I'll assign to them. And how to access the local properties inside the classes using this keyword, this dot name, this dot age, like that. And how to access this particular name from outside. Suppose I can't do student dot name, you can't access because it's private. So how to access them is we'll provide a way. that is getters and setters. This called getters and setters. So get name, you want to, if you call a function get name, see get name is public. This is responsible to give you the local property called name. So this dot name it will return. So you must do get name only. You can't do dot name. And same thing for set name. You can't do directly student dot name equal to something. You must have to pass this public function, and that is responsible to change inside. So like that, every property you must do two things: setter
Sir,
and getter. Huh,
sir, one question here.
huh.
Can you score a little bit top, please? On the Yeah, here. Whatever we pass from the like name is course, that is from the creating new object we get
Yes,
here.
yes,
That I
yes.
understand it.
Yeah,
And this dot name will, let's say if we pass 25, we will get 25 here, right?
yeah.
So this also I understand it. This public set name string means if we want to change that already existing 25 instead of 30, so we can do here set name is.
Yes. Actually, at the time of initialization, you wanna do pass something, you can do the constructor like object
Yeah.
call.
Okay.
After creating object, you want to modify something, then use this setter and getter.
Mhm.
I tell you.
Okay.
So there's one more function called get student. So this your wish, you can write yourself, and this is one more method. So this returns, instead of calling individual get and all, I just made everything in one method, and I can just call it a single short.
Okay.
So this is a structure actually. So nothing will happen when you just create a structure, or everything will happen starts from here. The flow starts from here. So when I say let how to create an object is now structure ready, and how to create it is let student one is equal to new student John age and codes. So whenever you say new student, whenever you run this thing, automatically this is going to call the constructor of that particular class. So when I press the control and keep a cursor here, see it's going to the constructor student name, age, and course. So when I click on this, it's gone to here. Actually, you can declare them. See, when I keep a cursor, is showing like age, name, age, course is any type. It means you can pass number also. But if you pass number, na, here and all, you get the error. While accessing and all, you won't you will get the error. I think actually I forgot it. So you must mention here. It must be of type string. It must be of type number, and this must be of type string. Yeah, this is the perfect
Actually,
way.
I mean, I understand what we have done. My where I
Mm,
did not understand is
mm,
whatever we passing as a class object, whatever
mm,
this will come to this constructor, and this constructor value is whatever the private name string is, that
mm,
is stored here, right?
yes.
So, and get name string return this name
This
means it will
will
return this
access
name.
this data
Yeah,
outside.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is fine until now.
Uh,
This set name is confuse me. Like we are not using anywhere, right? This set name.
yeah, yeah. I'll do. I'll do. Wait, wait. I'll do.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So student one is equal to I got get student. It will get access all data. So all get functions as called. So you get data, right? So now I want to modify. This is just for access. You want to modify. So already student is John 20 and engineering is there. Suppose John has changed. Uh, Suppose let's take some is ECE batch course. He is changing from ECE to some other computer science. So what I do is student one, how to change the data, because I can't access student one dot course is equal to something you can't do, because course cannot be accessed, because see course is declared as a private and can only be accessed within the class because it is declared as a private. So you can't access. How to access is get, and how to set is set. So I'll do one thing, student one dot set course, set course. I mean double dot. Yeah, student one dot set course. Here I can change to CSC. CSC. Okay. So now when I say console dot log of student one dot get student.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
think I
Now you get,
understand completely
yeah.
now.
Now John 20 and CSC will come.
So that is exactly the concept in Java or C Sharp they
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same,
encapsulate,
same,
right,
same.
sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. You made me so clear now.
See, it is changed to CSC now, like that. So these two functions are getting and setting the data. But if it is declared as a private, you can't access. So this is called encapsulation and data binding. This is constructor, and these are getters and setters. This is objects creation and calling a method, like that. So we have made only a normal function, just independent function. Sorry, independent class, which doesn't have any parent class or parent structure. It's just one only independent structure. You have another concept called inheritance. What is inheritance is, you can you can what do you call, you can extend the existing feature to the next feature. Suppose like you have some old feature, and you can extend that, and you can add some new features. So existing one structure is there, further you want to do some extra modification, you want to add some extra properties and extra functionalities, then the existing structure can be enhanced or extended to the child. That's called inheritance. Okay, so let's do that inheritance concept. I will here only in app.ts is there. Okay, I create a new TypeScript. I say inheritance .ts. Yeah, I just take one basic structure. I just tell you the structure now. Structure is going to be um, okay. Let's take like this. I take basic mobile, basic mobile. So the basic mobile will have what properties and what features, and smartphone will have more features. Okay, so I'll just basic phone. Yeah, so that's the class. So here I'll have what will be there. Um, what it will be there, color and all you can do, but I don't need it. uh, what's the basic features of a phone? Okay, keypad will be there, keypad. Okay, and this will be having make call. You can also make calls as a function, and one more, make send SMS. You can send SMS. Okay, so functionalities are there. So keypad is there, make calls are there, send SMS. So this is one basic structure of the basic phone functionality. So properties, keypad, and what can be done is these two. Fine. And then I have one more, that is one smartphone. So what extra smartphone can be done? So smartphone also have a keypad, and smartphone also can make calls and SMS. Uh, Along with all this, you have another thing is, you can take photo. You can take photos we have because it is having camera, and uh, you can make okay, send email. You can send an email. Okay, like that. Let's just take extra two. And extra we have keypad is the property there, and here we have along with the keypad we also have um, sensor, because what you call fingerprint sensor. Okay, fingerprint also there. Okay, fingerprint is a property. So this is the existing structure, and this is enhanced structure. So this is the one structure called base class. You can take it as what do you call base class, like basic phone, and smartphone as also one class. This extends basic phone. Okay, and you can access this data as well as this data. So let me make an inheritance for this thing. So first of all, I'll take a basic phone. So class basic phone. Basic phone is having keypad and make call. So keypad is actually a property. Let's say private keypad of type normal string. Next, make calls is one function, that is a method. Let's make public make calls, one method, and one more method, public send SMS is one method. Okay, so it just simply returns as string, and this also returns string. Not string. I'll do one thing. Just simply make a mm, just make a void. I just make console log because we can't write actually logic. What is this making calls and all? That's just for understanding purpose. I made this. Yeah. So we have a class basic phone which having these things, and you can also make a constructor. So this constructor will take the keypad. Let's take keypad of type string. So this dot keypad is equal to keypad. Okay, that's less than the keypad it. Okay, get a settle will right. Next, I want to create a smartphone with this data. So let's say class smartphone. Okay, so how you extend this structure from a parent structure is extends is a keyword. Extends basic phone. Okay, smartphone extends the basic phone. Here also you have a constructor, but one rule is there. Whenever you are constructing the child class, it's called child class and this is called parent class. So whenever you are constructing the child class, it must construct first parent class and then child class. The rule is first you have to create an object of this, then only you can create object of this. So how to call, I mean how to create an object for the parent classes by calling a constructor. So how to call the parent class constructor is you can use one more keyword called super or something. You can pass some basic keypad. Okay, you can pass because you're expecting a string now, so you can call like the super class basic keypad. You can pass it off. So this is how calling parent class constructor. So a lot of rules are there, I'll just tell you. Then so I have a keypad, so here also we'll have a keypad. So let's make a private keypad of type normal string. Done. And here also you can access the keypad of type string. Yeah, you can even assign this dot keypad is equal to keypad. Okay, fine. And then see, is this telling incorrect extends base class because I have separate declarations and private property keypad. Separate declaration. What separate declaration? Is already having keypad now. Acha, the parent data. Okay, okay, okay. It is private. If it is the parent is declared as a private, which cannot access for the child because I want to access this keypad over here. If you want to access that keypad over here, it must be protected. Then you can access that here. But still, one more is there. Smartphone calculates in the base class base phone protect properly. Keypad is private in the type smartphone, but it's not type basic phone. I think this is to be a public. But if I make it as a public, is a problem. Uh, keypad. Um, okay, actually, do one thing. I tell you one more thing. Thing is, see, basic phone is having one keypad, right? So the same keypad you can also available for here. Actually, you are not supposed to create a new keypad extra because thing is, whatever the parent is having by default accessible for the child. So the keypad which is there in the parent, which automatically available for you. So don't create your own new keypad is saying. So it's automatically available for us. And this dot keypad means this will update this class specific keypad. I tell you before telling rules, I just tell you the just make a complete structure and then we'll discuss the story. Um, Make calls, SMS, take photo, send email. Okay, let's make public. Uh, uh, Make call. Next, so public, send SMS, send SMS. Next, take photo, public, take photo, and next one more public, send email. Okay, fine. So I have taken an extra fingerprint is there. So fingerprint is a special property only for smartphone. It's not an inherited property from the parents. It is its own property. So that you can take it over here. So private fingerprints. Fingerprint is equal to let's take of type stringer like this, and this you can assign over here. Let's take a comma fingerprints of type string. So you can assign this dot fingerprint is equal to fingerprints. Okay, so we made a structure of the parent and the child. Let's make some basic console log because I want to make sure which function is getting called. Let's say console.log of backtick. Let's say basic phone make calls. Let's make basic phone send SMS. Yeah. So let's make here is a smartphone. Smartphone takes photos, and here smartphone send emails. Okay, fine. So I have taken one this normal console log. Yeah. So we have a parent structure and a child structure. So let me create an object and just see what is happening. So create objects, create objects. So let's first basic phone is equal to new basic phone, and you have to pass something. So what you have to pass? Only is expecting the keypad. So I'll just pass stringer. Let's say basic keypad. I'm passing, and let me do the console.log of. But you don't have any function to access that right keypad. Okay, so basic phone make calls with. I'll access that this dot keypad. Okay, so let me call this function so that you get the message as basic keypad. Let's check. So console.log of basic phone. Okay, look, you can no console log because already there in the console log. Basic phone dot make calls. So when I say basic phone dot make calls is gonna call this function. So basic phone is making calls with the keypad which you have given the keypad with that. So if I run this, so I say tsc space inheritance dot ts and then node space inheritance dot js. Yeah, see, basic phone is making calls with the basic keypad because you have create a basic phone with basic keypad. So this is gonna make calls with that one. Fine. And then you can call even send SMS also. So sending SMS with again this keypad. Okay, let me call this send SMS also. So let's say basic phone dot send SMS. I'll do. So what happens? See, basic phone is making calls and SMS with the basic keypad because that's what you have created. Next, what I do is create smartphone objects. So let's smartphone equal to new smartphone. Okay, so this new smartphone is having parameters is keypad and fingerprinter. So let's say smart keypad, or let's say touch keypad, and let's say FP scanner, something. Okay, fingerprint scanner. So I create a smartphone with touch keypad and fingerprint scanner. Now, when I say smartphone, we have a function, right? Yeah. Let's see here. What I'm doing is smartphone make call. Make call is calling super dot make calls. I'll show you. Smartphone dot make calls. Let's see what is gonna come. A smartphone. So let me do one thing. Let me comment out this. I don't want that output now. Yeah, let me do the TSC and node. Yes. See, what is the message you got? Basic phone making calls with touch keypad. See, what is happening? So why basic phone making calls with touch keypad is, see, when I call smartphone with touch keypad has assigned to the variable. We don't have any variable, so the parent data keypad is assigned. Now, when I say smartphone dot make calls is calling the parent class. See, smartphone dot make calls. It is calling what super class dot make call. So it is calling I mean it just redirected to super class. So basic phone with calls. I'm doing one thing. I'll copy this. Don't do a super because I have to extend the functionality. I don't want to use the same basic phone functionality. So I write my own logic. So now here is a smartphone. So now smartphone making calls with keypad. And also please check, I have not declared a keypad here. The keypad feature is coming from the parent because it's called what inheritance, right? So keypad is declared actually in the basic phone. That's automatically available for child. Same like parent scope, child scope. Parent scope data automatically available for child scope data, right? So same like that is a class based scope. So this keypad I have not declared here because this is protected. It's automatically accessible here. So when I assign keypad is equal to this that keypad, it is the copy of this particular class, and that's why when I say smartphone, when I assign over here touch keypad, that is assigned over to the this class specific keypad, and when I say this dot keypad is going to access that one. So just run the program. Yes, node. See now smartphone is making calls with touch keypad because you have passed touch keypad, so that's what happening. And let's make send SMS. So I'll copy this. I'll just not super. I'll just make a smartphone sending SMS, sending SMS with the keypad. Okay, and then take photo. I want to take smartphone take photos and smartphone send emails. I'll do one thing. I'll just call all together. I'll make a separate function. So let's say public. Uh, let's say description. Let's say not description. Let's make a specification. Specifications. One function void. So I want to just make calling of all. So that's a plan. Specification. I'm just calling all. So this dot make calls and this dot send email. This dot um, take photo this dot what else, send emails. Yeah, instead of calling one by one, I just call everybody over here. And now check, when I call specification, all this function gets called and all smartphone specific features you're gonna get. So smartphone make calls, I mean just make smartphone dot specifications. So what to call individual functions, so I'll just do run this. See, now we got all small smartphone specific data. Smartphone making calls with touchpad, sending emails, take photo, and oh, sending emails two times. Huh? I think it must be they call send SMS actually. Yeah, like that. One more time. Yeah, SMS with touch keypad and taking phones, taking photos and sending emails. So the complete concept over here is you have a basic structure, and the basic structure you can even extend to the next structure, like dependent object you can feel, because these type of objects are not there in normally JavaScript, because we can directly create an isolate object and that's only we use. Okay, but here it is inheritance concept, so the same existing feature or the existing functionality we can extend through the class oriented approach. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Even a lot of things are there like inheritance modules, so all these things, so I can tell you all this extra things in the next class. Okay, so that's it. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll meet in tomorrow's class. So we have class tomorrow, right? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, sir.